Yeah. I turned off my light. Hey, pardon me, sir. I think you have the wrong car. What are we doing here? What the hell is going on?
I was sent to get you for a reason.
Open the door! No!
There's a flower on the pillows, a flower in the bathroom. Like, we're important.
The only chance we have is if all three of us go crazy on this guy.
Who is that? Maybe she can help us.
We're here! Help us! We're in here!
Don't worry. He's not allowed to touch you. He knows what you're here for. He listens to me. My name's Hedwig.
How old are you?
9.
I've never seen a case like this before. 23 identities live in Kevin's body.
Who are you? Help me get out of here, Hedwig.
You trying to trick me? I'll tell on you.
Aren't you the clever one?
An individual with multiple personalities can change their body chemistry with their thoughts.
Someone's coming for you.
Who's coming?
The beast.
There's a man here. He abducted us and he's going to kill me. We're meant for something. Something horrible.
The world will understand now. The beast is real. He's done awful things to people, and he'll do awful things to you.
Hello.
Hi, this is Sam.
This is Becca.
Hi, and we're here today to talk about our new podcast episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to watch a movie together.
Yeah.
It's called Being Us About Movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie is a new movie. We haven't done... Well, it's not new. I mean, it's not like brand new movie.
2017.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's called Split.
Split.
And audiences were split on this movie.
My parents told me it was shitty.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they went and saw it at the theater.
It stars Betty Buckley,
Yeah. And from The Witch.
Anna Taylor-Joy,
Mm-hmm.
and James McAvoy.
Mm-hmm.
And someone already spoiled something.
Don't
about this
read
movie.
any of it.
No, I know. But someone
'Cause
already
I
spoiled
didn't
it.
remember.
So 3 kids are kidnapped by a man with 23 distinct personalities.
Mm-hmm.
They must try to escape before the final personality, the frightful 24th one,
Mm-hmm.
takes over. This is directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
James McAvoy is the main character in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's been in a couple things.
he's been in a few things. He was Xavier in X-Men First Class.
Mm-hmm.
He was Wesley in Wanted, which is also based on a comic.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Atomic Blonde, which is coming up soon. It's going to be a big deal, I think. He's in that Victor Frankenstein movie that went and disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Nomeo and Juliet. He played Nomeo.
Who's Romeo?
He was in Nomeo. He's on the show Shameless, which I tell my wife she would probably like.
Yeah.
And he was on the show Band of Brothers, too. But he is in this.
Mm-hmm.
And the trailer was really good for this, so...
But they always are.
I know, but, you know, M. Night Shyamalan...
Shyamalan.
I really think his movies have... I really like some of his movies, and I don't like some of the others.
I like Signs.
Let's go through the movies, and you tell me whether or not you like him of his movies. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
He's producing the new Tales from the Crypt series, which kind of...
That's you.
Well, it's going to be a series. It's not going to be like a portmanteau.
Mm-hmm.
So that feels like a waste of time.
Yeah.
But, you know. All right, Playing with Anger.
Never saw it.
How about Wide Awake?
Never saw it.
There's a lot of studio involvement with that one. Sixth Sense.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
I liked it.
Liked it.
It was spooky for what it was.
Signs.
Yes.
I think that was good. Unbreakable.
Never saw it.
Oh, I like Unbreakable a lot. That's one of those movies I really like. The Village.
Yes, till the end.
No. I figured it out seconds into it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. The Lady in the Water.
Yes.
Yeah. The Fappening.
Story.
The Happening.
That's her name. Story.
Oh, The Happening.
Never saw it, but we own it.
The Last Airbender.
Never gonna get to watch it.
After Earth.
No.
The Visit.
No.
All right, and then Split, and then he has a new one he's working on now.
No, I thought he wasn't doing the movies anymore.
Well, he's gonna do this. This movie made $40 million in its first weekend.
It's crazy.
Yeah. $40 million. That's crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The bad guy in this movie is called The Beast. There is a real person much like him. Joaquin Phoenix was supposed to be in this.
I think he would have been better. I haven't seen it yet, but.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who is the cinematographer is Mike I can't pronounce it. Golakis?
Where do you see it?
Right there. Goliakis. He was
Geolakis.
Yeah, he did It Follows, and the producer, the composer, Wes Dylan Thornton, did the music for The Jinx, The Life and
That's
Death
good.
of Robert Durst.
But It Follows can suck the big one.
Yeah. Jason Blum, who's the Blumhouse guy. This is after The Visit. This is the second one together. Takes place in Philadelphia, which is his hometown. James McAvoy broke his hand on this and had to go to urgent care. Let's see. This is not the same. The first movie that McAvoy has had multiple voices in his head. He also, he was Charles Xavier. Not going to read the spoilers here. He played 8 characters in the movie. Betty Buckley, who played a psychiatrist, starred in the ABC series 8 is Enough. Oh, that's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. All right, well, that's a bit about that. The IMDb trivia, which sometimes is good. So this guy kidnaps and imprisons 3 girls in an isolated underground factory. Not anything like that other horrible movie. What was that one with John Goodman?
Oh, Cloverfield.
Yeah. So, not a fan of that movie.
That was terrible.
Yeah?
Yes.
This film came out at the same time as The Return of Xander Cage, The Resurrection of Gavin Stone, and The Founder, as well as 20th Century Women. It did much better than his last movie actually did. And actually generally got, it's about a B+. Some people are giving it as much as 4 out of 5. Best Actor from the MTV Awards, James McAvoy, as well as Anna Taylor-Joy won the London Film Critics Circle Young Irish-British Performer of the Year. She was also in Morgan and The Witch. And Betty Buckley won Best Supporting Actress at the Saturn Awards. Those are the ones they always announce. Do you know what I mean? They haven't given those yet. And Best Awards nominated. They always announce the Saturn Awards on, like, the worst movies. You know what I mean? Like, Battle Beyond the Stars, the Saturn Awards winner. Not that Battle Beyond the Stars is a bad movie. I love it. So, Split garnered controversy for its alleged stigmatization of mental illness. This is a false stereotype that people living with complex mental illnesses are inherently dangerous and violent.
Yes, they are.
No.
We know a lot of them.
Baby.
The whole thing is, it's a story. Get over it.
No, but
There's stories about all kinds of people, not just mental health people.
I think that sometimes people...
Hence the reason it's called a story.
Yeah, but I think sometimes people will see it and they think, well, that's what that person's like. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they're not real sure. M. Night Shyamalan is an Indian-American director, and film director, screenwriter, author, producer, and actor known for making movies with contemporary supernatural plots and surprise endings. What a twist.
Mr. Kids.
He was born in Mahé, Puducherry,
He
India.
lives in Pennsylvania. Let's go see him.
He was in Willistown.
Where is it? Can you find
near
it on
Philly.
the map?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, in and around Philly. He was awarded the Padma. It's in Chester County. He lives very close to
Amy.
in Bam Margera.
Is Amy gonna meet him?
Yeah, he's like, hello, Amy.
Hello, Amy.
He was born. He's a son of Indian parents.
Yeah.
His father had a medical degree, while his mother is an obstetrician and gynecologist by profession. He spent the first 6 weeks of his life in India, and then was raised in Penn Valley, Pennsylvania, an affluent suburb of Philly. He was raised Hindu, but attended a private Roman Catholic grammar school, followed by an Episcopal academy in Marion, PA. Then he went to New York University on a
Where's
merit
Marion?
scholarship. It's pretty close, same area, I think. And then he went to the Tisch School of the Arts in Manhattan, graduating in '92. That's where he adopted Knight as his second name.
He just made that up.
Mm-hmm.
What's my baby's new middle name going to be?
Eggplant.
S. Eggplant Panico.
Yes. Because
I
it's
will
dark
be-
like the night.
I will be B. Butterfinger Panico.
Well, you know what's funny? We were doing... I didn't realize... Well, a lot of people don't text and stuff.
What do you mean?
Eggplant... The photo of eggplant is a euphemism for penis. Like the... if you send the sticker or the emoticon. And, like, we did a bunch... They were doing a bunch of ads for Starkist, and they had all these eggplants in it. And Jeff's like, you realize that means penis, right?
Dicks and dicks
Yeah.
and more dicks.
So he actually had a Super 8 camera at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
By the time he was 17, he had made 45 home movies. On the DVD of each of his releases, starting with The Sixth Sense, and with the exception of Lady in the Water, there is a scene from one of those childhood movies.
Aw.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. His first movie, Wide Awake, his parents were the film's associate producers.
Mm-hmm.
It had Robert Loggia, Dana Delaney, and Dennis Leary, Rosie O'Donnell, Julia
Some pretty
Stiles,
big people for a first
and
movie.
Cameron Manheim. Yeah, you know what's funny? I haven't thought about Julia Stiles. And
What happened to Cameron Manheim?
Who's she?
The big heavy-set lady. She was on that law show.
Oh, she's right there.
She used to be a lot heavier. She was also in Romy and Michelle's.
Yeah.
What's the TV show she
She's
was
in
on?
Cop Car, Return to Sender. She is.
She was on Ally McBeal, but
She's
she's
on a show
another-
called Major Crimes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's done some things, but I haven't thought about her in a long time. And the guys at wrestling were talking like, "Oh, she's really hot. She looks like Julia Stiles." About some girl, I'm like,
Remember
"Where
that
did
she
you
was-
pull Julia Stiles? What does Julia Stiles even do? She was like a big deal
She
for
was
a
in
bit.
The Omen, the remake.
Oh, was she?
Yeah. Which was horrible.
Oh, that's right. She was
in
in.
10 Things I Hate About
She
You.
was in the Jason Bourne
Save
series.
the Last Dance.
Yeah.
She was in...
I don't know
Lots
how
of things.
she is in the Bourne Ultimatum.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in a bunch of stuff.
She was in kid stuff, too, I think.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but it was like the guys were talking about her. She was a big deal. His next, he co-wrote the M. Night Shyamalan co-wrote the screenplay with Stuart Little. He was also the screenwriter for She's All That, the Freddie Prinze Jr.
love
and
that
Rachel
movie.
Lee Cook movie. However, this statement has come into question as the credited screener for the film, R. Lee Fleming Jr., denied his involvement in a now-deleted tweet. He wrote The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
He had almost wrote the fourth Indiana Jones. Steven Spielberg is his idol growing up. He almost did Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but did not do it.
How many stones are there in Harry Potter?
He almost did The Life of Pi, too, but it made Lady in the Water instead.
I'm glad.
Yeah, he's the movie that really threw him off track was Avatar: The Last Airbender, based on the Nickelodeon cartoon. He also produced some movies such as Devil, that movie that was the Night Chronicles series. It was called. He would produce, but not direct one film for 3 years. And Devil was about an elevator, people stuck in an elevator with the devil. They're saying here that the Tales from the Crypt will continue the anthology format, and I certainly hope so. He also did After Earth, which is a really poorly... did you know about the media hoax he did, by the way, in 2014?
Didn't he say he was dead?
He said he had been dead for half an hour as a child, and that he is able to communicate with spirits. He developed the hoax with Sci-Fi, going far as having Sci-Fi staffers sign $5 million NDAs, and not requiring his office to approve each step. They had all sorts of fake people involved as a guerrilla marketing campaign to get the village to be a big deal. NBC was very upset that they got dragged into this.
Yeah.
He is married to Bhavna Vaswi, a fellow student that he met at New York University. They have 3 daughters.
Aww.
Yeah. He did. He was on the show as an actor for Entourage, and he did the show Wayward Pines for Fox. They say he makes it. The Village Voice said, Slate writer Michael Agar said that he followed an uncomfortable pattern of making fragile, sealed-off movies that fall apart when exposed to outside logic. That's probably the best thing I've heard about him. He's been sued several times.
By who?
There was a screenwriter, Robert McKilney from PA, that alleged similarities between Signs and his unpublished script in 2004.
Had they ever known each other?
Not sure. Margaret Peterson Haddix claimed The Village has numerous similarities to her young adult novel Running Out of Time. Her publisher, Simon & Schuster, filed a lawsuit. Orson Scott Card, who is a somewhat racist science fiction author that did Ender's Game, has claimed that many elements of The Sixth Sense were plagiarized from his novel Lost Boys, although he said that enough had been changed that there was no point in suing. So, but you know what? I think anybody that does that, he actually has been nominated for a ton of Golden Raspberry Awards.
Are those the bad ones?
Yeah, but he won the Razzie Redeemer Award, which is an award that is given to people who finally come back from a Razzie.
shitty.
And The Visit was given that award.
I don't.
Very few people have been giving the Razzie Redeemer Award.
Yeah.
Those people are Ben Affleck, won it for Argo and Gone Girl. After
Your favorite movie?
Yeah, after making Jiggly.
Jiggly.
Jennifer Aniston, a 4-time Razzie nominator, was given it for the movie Cake.
Because all of our movies are exactly the same.
Mike Myers, a Razzie winner for The Love Guru, was given one for the documentary Supermensch, The Legend of Shep Gordon. Keanu Reeves, a 6-time Razzie nominee, was given one for John Wick. And Kristen Stewart was given one after art house hit Camp X-Ray. Sylvester Stallone, the all-time Razzie champ, was given one for his work in the movie Creed. Elizabeth Banks, the Razzie-winning director of movie 43, went on to direct Pitch Perfect 2. M. Night Shyamalan, we talked about. Will Smith, following up Razzie wins for After Earth, his movie Concussion. And then Mel Gibson, who won a Worst Supporting Actor nominee for The Expendables 3, received one for directing Hacksaw Ridge. I think it's kind of interesting that they, people that become a respected artist, that's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. But you know what I always notice? Like the movies that they usually hate, for the most part, I generally like. I think...
You know what I noticed?
What?
These people giving the awards aren't doing half as much as people making movies, so...
Yeah, but like, there's certain movies like The Room and stuff that get those awards.
The Room?
Yeah, you know that movie, The Room?
The one we watched?
No, The Room. The one that's like the art house movie with the guy. Like, it's all shot in the same room. It's like, it plays like midnight shows a lot. It's like one guy, I can't remember what his name is.
I know the movie Four Rooms.
No. Here, I'll show you.
It's just boring, is that what you mean?
Huh?
It's just boring?
No, it's awesome. It's just weird. Like, none of it makes sense, and it's one guy did the whole movie himself.
Yeah.
And it's like people's characters change. Like, it's just really strange. Tommy Wiseau. Have you ever seen like a...
No,
Looks like Peter Steele, kind of. It's like a big thing people... Not art movie. It's like kind of like Rocky Horror now.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's funny because like it made no money when it came out. Like it made a couple $100 per screen.
And now it's popular.
So on Rotten Tomatoes, they said, to make a movie that's so bad it's good, you need vision, drive, luck, and obsessive vanity. Fortuitously, The Room's writer, producer, director, and star Tommy Wiseau seems to possess all these qualities. It's not just bad; it's intoxicatingly awful.
Yeah. Those are sure that half the movies we watch.
Yeah. It's like, Lisa, you're killing me inside. He says that kind of stuff. It's just a weird movie. It's just, I can't really...
Is he the only character?
No, there's several people in it. But like, it just, nothing makes sense in the whole movie. I'm doing it disservice. It feels like one of those movies we'd kind of have to see in the theater.
Yeah.
To get. But we're going to watch Split right now. And speaking of Split, my wife's doing a new blog about jigsaw puzzles.
It's called Puzzler's Pride.
Puzzler's Pride. My wife is obsessed with jigsaw puzzles.
Just recently.
What puzzle are you putting together now?
Tonight's the Harper's Bazaar. Well, the magazine, the vintage magazines is the art.
What room's this going to go in?
I don't know. We're gonna have to get another house. This is just for puzzles.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is a puzzle house.
I want to make a puzzle museum, and we'll charge people to go there, and that's how we'll pay the
They
mortgage.
have to bring one
on that
puzzle
house.
piece.
Yeah.
Bring me a puzzle piece.
This is a good idea, I think. Come see my puzzle work.
Why don't you come see my puzzles?
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
What?
Want to come upstairs and I'll show you my puzzles?
I want to see your, I don't know, your puzzle. There's no good word. Your,
Do you want to see my conundrum?
yeah.
Do you want to see my
I
jigsaw
want to
puzzles?
see your Rolling Stowe.
Your what?
The Rolling Stowe.
Oh, my rolling stone? Do you want to see my puzzle glue?
Yeah.
Do you... You know,
We're having
he
lots
was
of puzzles.
he was dressed as Jigsaw,
Showing
he was too well dressed. He was too dressed up. That's my
You can
ultimate.
tell that little story, and then we'll watch a movie.
So my cousin, who Becca has never and will never meet.
Although I want to.
Yeah.
He would come to my puzzle museum.
For a while, there was this.
I call it Hot Topic.
There was a head shop in Elwood, my hometown, and they had
You
moved.
have to explain your cousin, though. He's like those weirdos you see in all the movies. Probably would have been Trenchcoat Mafia if he was
He's
allowed.
the West Memphis one, the West
yeah,
Pittsburgh
the
one.
West, the
West
Elwood
Pittsburgh.
City one.
Yeah,
No, but just, I mean, I
what?
feel like there's some
He still wears
torture of-
Junko pants.
I
Kind of
feel
thing.
like there's some torture of some small animals there.
Yeah,
Some serial killer tendencies.
yeah.
Are there any unsolved homicides in Elwood City?
Not really. No.
Let's look to Joel.
No.
Why?
I'll have to buzz his name out now.
What do you want me to call him?
No, it's fine. Rev Zombie.
The magician's nephew.
Rev Zombie.
Why do you call him that?
Because that was his name. That's what he made
What
movies
does it
under.
mean, though?
He was Reverend Zombie. That's the name he made movies under. We watched the movie that he made.
Doesn't it just make your skin crawl to hear these things, like, as a first time?
Well, we had to watch this movie.
Like, the second you would say, oh, his name's Reverend Zombie, I'd like, shut the front door, get out.
Well, my grandma said, "You know that Reverend."
Like,
my
don't even put up with this bullshit. Like, if Pepper comes home one day and says, I'm going to change my name to Glitter, Sparkle,
Yeah.
Princess, and
I'd
she's
say,
gonna, I'd say, get out,
No,
Glitter, Princess.
you would say, "I love you." I know my baby. I know that's gonna be me
I think
against.
it's gonna
I know
have
that's
to
gonna be
be-
me against two girls at some
I
point.
think it's going to have to be, I'll have to see those cards when they're dealt.
Let me tell you. I'll tell you this story so I can tell you the second story.
Because
So,
if I can't stand it in other people, how am I going to
so Rev
it in my own
Zom,
kid?
Rev Zom brought home. He was at my house, and my grandmother said, my parents' house. My grandmother said, "Do you know that he directed his first movie?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "Do you want to see it?" And I was like,
Who had it? Your grandma.
My grandma told me about it. She had watched it. So I said, "Yeah, I'd love to see it." And I told Noah, and Noah was like, "Hold on."
Mm-hmm.
So Noah called Jim and Adam,
Everyone came over
and everybody came down from Pittsburgh
to see this
to
movie.
see it. Yeah. So he went and got the movie.
Where was that?
Huh?
Where was this movie at? Was it like 8mm? It was locked up in some old man's
No, it was
basement?
on a video. They filmed it with the camcorder, so it was just on a regular videotape.
Okay.
They didn't edit it or anything. It was all shot in the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole movie.
So there was no edits. Did they just go from scene to scene to scene?
Yeah, they
Like,
shot it
rolled
in
right
sequence.
along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't really roll right along.
Well, I didn't. think
So
of
it
that.
would start off, and like whoever was in the room at the time
Yeah.
was in the movie. So it was like one guy's like stepdad who was just like a drunk, is just yelling at the whole time to shut the camera off. It's just weird.
Like he wasn't supposed to be there, or
He wasn't supposed to be there. So part of it was kind of like a
Project?
a Scream kind of movie, like where like and kind of like a slasher where people were going after someone. But then it really turned out that his character was the killer.
Wasn't any good. Well, let's
Well,
do
hold
that.
on. So there's a scene where he kills his girlfriend and he buries her body in the basement. And he keeps digging it up to have sex with. And then, but he always puts a condom on before he had sex with the corpse. And then he pulled.
This really exists.
Yeah, and he pulled the condom off and there was blood in it. And he was like, and because he thought she was infecting him. So we're looking, like
Makes me
literally,
want to cry.
everybody watching
How
it.
is he not arrested? Like,
Everybody watching it is just kind of, except me, because I've seen like some pretty like Sado and some pretty horrible movies, right? I'm kind of jaw dropped though, right?
yeah.
And my grandmother goes, "Isn't he talented?" And Noah's like, "No, he just fucked a corpse, and there's blood on his dick. We don't need to see this, Grandma. I can't believe that you're having to live this life. You shouldn't have had to live this life." Anyway, so the theater, this head shop had like a couch in back and a big screen TV, and they would charge people to watch movies and like have like, I don't, how do you charge? You
Like
know
a
they
birthday party?
You know how they always put those things on tapes where they, you know, at the beginning of them it says, you know, a fine if you, do you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you charge people to watch this.
Yeah.
I always wondered like, who are these people?
Because they don't do their job.
Yeah. So anyway, they had this event where they were going to watch
His movie?
Saw. And Grandma said to me, she said he was going to come to the movie, but he was too dressed up, and they wouldn't let him in. And you know he dresses nice. He doesn't. He was too dressed up. And for years, Noah and I, like literally for a couple months actually, Noah and I pondered over this. We're like, he was too dressed up. He was too dressed up.
Let's call him right now.
So then whenever, I don't even have his
do
number. I don't even have his
an
number.
interview.
No. So whenever, who, Noah?
No,
So whenever they,
I'd have some questions.
so whenever later on my grandmother said, well, they kicked him out because he was dressed like a character from Saw. There's some Jigsaw or something.
Wasn't he the one who set up the
Yes.
event?
But when he showed up, he creeped everybody out because he was dressed like Jigsaw from
Is
Saw.
there a picture anywhere of this
No.
event?
No. What was Ange barking about?
I don't know. He just said, "Hey, quit talking and watch the movie." That's what he wanted.
But anyway, he creeped them out, so they sent him home. That's why he was too dressed up. This led to the SWAT event that my dad walked through later. Maybe I saved that for another podcast.
Yeah.
Do you think
Keep people interested.
maybe I should do a whole podcast about my life with him?
You know. I just
What?
don't know how he's gotten as far as he has.
He's done well. He's doing better than me right now.
Shut up. No, he's not.
He gave my grandma her first great grandchild. Maybe. Jury's out.
Yeah.
The timeline doesn't add up.
He was too dressed up.
Also, his wife is in a horror movie.
She is.
She helped film that Bigfoot movie.
No.
Yeah,
Why?
that Bigfoot.
Is she
movie.
like a Hot Topic wannabe too?
Yeah, but you know she's a she's a photographer. You know the story about the
Yes.
internet pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did that person sue her?
Oh yeah, a couple people did,
Oh, God.
but it all got
How many times did she claim that they were her pictures when they weren't?
a whole bunch of times.
So, like, don't you learn your lesson after the first
No.
time? Hmm.
I guess I should take him out, huh?
So what he wants. Did he not do anything when he went out?
He just wondered. You know how he wanders and you're just like, where is he going? And he goes into 3 or 4 different yards.
Mhm.
Either that, or he thinks your puzzle is food. This is another problem that we sometimes eat the living room table up. He's sniffing around. Angelo sometimes believes that when Becca is doing a puzzle, she's eating food, and he wants to. He has his own food out there, but he wants puzzle pieces, and then inevitably he'll pull the puzzle down. Enemy of puzzles. Here he comes. It depends where he goes now.
No.
Up. He's walking away from this podcast.
He says, "You're making fun of me. I'm walking out."
He's like, I know you think it's funny that a dog is on this podcast, but
But no.
Angela has a real problem with the way dogs are treated in the Halloween movies.
I know.
He doesn't like it.
I don't like it either.
And he says he said, you could get across the inhumanity, don't have to kill a dog.
No.
I just want...
He goes, why don't we kill cats?
He goes, you know what movie's great?
There actually has been plenty of cats.
Do you know what
who died in
Andrew's
Halloween
favorite movie
movies,
is?
Too.
You know what his favorite
What?
movie is? Sleepwalkers. He loves it.
Yeah.
He's like, that scene where all the cats get killed? Love it.
No.
Here's the dumb thing. They said on How to Get Made, and I never thought about it before.
What?
It's like, why don't you just... Why do you have to leave the cats hanging up? Like, none of it makes any sense.
It's mean. I don't like that.
Someone had a theory about that movie that I forgot to share with you.
Yeah.
You know how, what's his name? Ron Perlman's the sheriff?
Yes.
And he gets his arm broken and he gets scratched.
Mm-hmm.
He turns into a sleepwalker, doesn't know how to deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
goes to New York and becomes the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. In effect, Sleepwalker is one giant prequel for Beauty and the Beast, the TV series.
Oh, he does look like that.
Yeah. And Clovis.
Clovis. He goes, I love that black guy in the movie. He goes, get him, Clovis, get him, because he's playing with him with one of those feather things.
Yeah.
And Clovis is laying on the front seat of the police car, going, batting it, and he goes, get him, boy, get him, Clovis.
They made fun of that movie on How to Get Made. They're like, nobody takes their cat around with them like
I
that.
would if we had... Elvis would drive around with me.
Would he? Why don't you take Elvis with you on the road?
Should.
Wange's patrol's done. He's back in his couch. He's gonna curl up. He's gonna knock all the pillows off
I've
first.
never met a dog who paced more than he does.
He paces all the time. I don't know what it is. He's always done it though his whole life.
I know.
This is the other thing now. Is like his.
He thinks the grass is greener.
You lost a piece still.
I saw it.
He likes to ram his head into the couch, make a
itches
little.
his face.
He makes a little burrow. And then what he likes to do is take that green pillow and launch it to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
He does not want that green flowery pillow in his bed. He's doing it again. This is every night. Well, we're gonna watch Split. I don't know if you should watch it or not. Let me tell you right now, I'm probably not gonna like this movie. It just doesn't feel like the kind of movie I like.
You got a lily pad. Professor Lily Pad.
But I'll give it a shot. How about that?
That's good.
All right, we'll see you in a couple minutes.
There's plenty of time to treat yourself to something good to eat at our refreshment center.
What do you think, Becca? Who? Oh, baby. What didn't you like about it? Tell us.
That was good. They always do this where they have so much stuff. So many different directions they can go in.
Yeah.
And then they go in that one.
Well, see, Unbreakable's the same thing because Unbreakable, the whole movie, you're set up to believe that it's just a story about a regular guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you find out at the end that it's his origin story, and it's really a comic book movie.
I wouldn't like that at all.
You would really like it. Of his movies, it's the one movie I definitely like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
I
because
guess-
I'm more into comics, but Bruce Willis is great in it, and there's so much of it that's a really heroic story, and it's about how, like, he turns his life around as a result of, like, finding out that he's this hero.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings his family back together, but it turns out that all these people had to die for Mr. Glass doing it to give him his powers and give him his direction. If I had seen that ending in the theater and not known what was going to happen, so it got spoiled, I like I said to you, I probably would have jumped up and down. I've been so excited.
That's what you said.
I think,
It was a bad movie.
I wouldn't say it was a bad movie.
I'm surprised you liked it.
I didn't like it the whole way. Here's the thing I did like. I could tell the same guy that did It Follows did the same DP.
Mm-hmm.
Same cinematographer did it. There's a lot of shots like it. It's a little too close. If I were to compare this to two other movies like it,
Yeah.
Room and what's the other one we talked about? John Goodman.
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield. I would say this is in the middle of those. I would put Room number 1, this number 2, Cloverfield number 3.
It just sets up for disappointment.
I thought James McAvoy was really good.
He did good at what he was supposed to do, but
I thought he did well.
You just...
And I think that,
This will be a one-time watch.
Really, you think?
Yeah.
I've been told other movies are a one-time watch, and I've had to watch them several times.
This I don't really ever want to watch again.
You don't?
No.
Huh.
I promise.
Huh. Will you watch the inevitable final part of the trilogy?
What?
Whenever he fights Bruce Willis.
Is he gonna fight Bruce Willis?
Yeah, that's the next movie.
No.
You don't like The Horde?
No. I like when he does aliens and dead people.
I thought that, what's her name? Beverly Buckley.
You know me, I like scarier things.
I think Beverly Buckley was really good.
She was.
She's
she
from
was
Carrie.
good. And because I like her in that, I wanted to think that she would make it good.
Yeah.
No.
I thought, when I learned that she is a 2-time Daytime Emmy winner, a multiple-time Grammy winner, and a multiple-time Tony winner. She's had a tremendous career. Also, she dated Brian De Palma, I think, for a bit. So he would use her to push some of the other characters, like slapping him and stuff,
Yeah.
and pushing them in the movie a little bit. When some of the other ones weren't as well trained when they were young. Yeah. Isn't PJ Souls in that too?
What?
Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She plays Norma.
Norma.
Norma, yeah.
She's also in Rock and Roll High School.
And Halloween.
Yeah. So she had, I mean, that's pretty much, you can,
Did you pick your leg?
yeah, I did.
Oh.
You can quit after that.
Yeah.
I think you get like 3 good movies.
I still can't believe she was married to Dennis Quaid, remember?
Oh, I know. That's crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That dude did really well for himself.
I know.
Like, he had Meg Ryan when that met something.
I would have been 6th wife.
Huh?
I would have been 6th wife. But you asked me first, so I said okay.
There's so, I'd like to talk to you about something.
What?
More and more, there's been talk of other guys, and,
Celebrities!
well, that guy, Fred Durst would have been my husband, but then you asked. The movers, they weren't celebrities. The hot men that came into this house and moved stuff.
You are my one true love.
There's been a lot of talk.
And if Dennis Quaid came through the store right now, I would say, sorry, Dennis, I'm taken.
I never mentioned any other girls. I never mentioned girls being attractive or anything, and it's fine. You can.
You're not allowed, that's why.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
like Dennis Quaid.
If you can marry a celebrity woman, you're allowed to tell me who it is. Who is it?
There's not really any that there aren't
Just
any.
pick one.
There aren't any that I'm into.
If you had to.
I don't even know. I'm serious. There aren't any that I would. And it's like, and then they all just get Botoxed out and stuff, and and their beauty fades like true love is forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you happen to be good looking too.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I would pick like the dumbest name anyway. I would pick like one like who? And I'm like, that's it.
Nobody would know.
Nobody would know who she is. Yeah, exactly. I think this was fine. I wouldn't say it's a great. Yeah, I don't think I ever want to see it again.
No.
I would say it's not my favorite. I would say I liked it more than. I know you like Lady in the Water a lot.
I love Lady in the Water.
I think. The other thing too is like I don't think he has to be in all his movies. Like it's just kind of like hokey now.
You don't see that beautiful Indian man?
I think he's an attractive Indian man. I think I think
That is
if
one person I wouldn't marry.
you wouldn't marry M. Night Shyamalan. No.
No.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of eye candy in this movie for you. No. I like the fact
I just like the fact that we can understand the girl from The Witch this time. I don't have to read the lips to understand what they're saying.
she was very good.
Yeah.
Is this her new role? Is she the new, like, the Jamie Lee Curtis of fucked up movies?
Well, I just wonder if we're gonna see her again anytime soon.
I'm sure she's going to be in
Yeah.
something soon. It's hard because this is what horror movies are in... This is a successful horror movie in 2017. It's a lot of hype. It's in theaters for like 2 weeks.
There's no formula for a movie that Becca's gonna like.
No, I know.
There's certain things maybe.
This felt like
But like,
this could
if
be
you
closer.
add up like my top 10 favorite movies, they really maybe have a couple things in common, but that's it.
Tell me your like we've talked about before, but what would your top 10 be?
Halloween's 1 through 5.
Okay. Well, let me get. Wait, I'm gonna go through your top 10. I'm gonna think through your top 10. By the way, but the Blake Harris guy that writes for How to Get Made,
Yeah.
he has a theory that everyone's wife's favorite movie is Hocus Pocus.
No.
No. So wait, I'll think of the.
It's cute.
I'll think of the
I want
what.
to show it to our kid one day, but it's not.
I'm gonna let me see if I can guess your top 10 favorite movies and see how many I'm right on. And you say I'm right, okay? And you can do the same for me. Would you like to go first for me?
No.
Okay. Halloween 2, Prince of Darkness, Witches of Eastwick,
Yeah.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
That's like 11.
The Shining, Phantasm,
No.
Halloween 3,
No.
Halloween 5.
No.
Any other Halloween other than 1 and 2?
They're really good, and I've watched them thousands of times.
But
not
1
in
and 2 were on your
Yeah.
list.
The Rob Zombie ones don't even make the top 30.
Okay.
I just put up with them because I need something else.
Silence of the Lambs,
No.
Adventures in Babysitting,
Mannequin.
Mannequin, Mannequin 2, Mannequin on the Move,
Mannequin on the move.
Jaws 3 and Jaws 4.
Yes. Jaws 4 is number 1.
Jaws 4 is number 1.
That's why I want to go to Jamaica so bad.
And what other
So
ones?
I want to go party with Hoagie.
What other ones are on?
Gamble.
What did I miss? Rosemary's Baby,
Yes. The Omen.
The Omen,
Practical Magic.
Practical Magic. Yeah.
There's no formula though.
Yes, there is. There's
What is-
witchiness, Pretty Woman,
Yeah.
girls in a bad situation, rising up against the odds, sometimes with the aid of magic. The Craft. Is The Craft the top 10?
No.
It's not?
No.
I would say you've probably seen The Craft and Hot Rod more than any movies.
They're easy to watch.
Or can you guess my top 10?
Yours are too oddball to guess.
You can
You
guess.
like Holly Mountain.
I like Holy Mountain.
You like Buckaroo Banzai.
Yes.
You like, I don't know.
There's one that we
there's
share.
too many here.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that was top 10.
That's a top 10. That's probably my number one favorite movie of all time.
That's up there for me.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No.
It's the most perfect movie ever. It's everything a movie should be. Empire Strikes Back.
See, I wore out Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade.
Okay. I like Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if it's top 10, but I really like Pit and the Pendulum a lot. And Mask of the Red Death. Those are...
I think the only way I can think about why I like certain movies, other than the fact that I just like Halloween for me. There's nothing scarier than that.
Yeah.
It doesn't personally scare me
I like
anymore.
Halloween 3's up there.
It doesn't personally scare me anymore.
Yeah.
But that's just a good movie, and nobody has ever made anything like it again. I don't care how many horror movies I've seen.
I think
There's nothing that...
RoboCop is definitely in my top maybe 20. I think. It would be interesting for us to sit down and think through this.
The only formula I can figure out for the reasons I like movies
Yeah.
is because they have a good beginning, a good middle, and a good end.
I don't think anybody would put this split on their list.
No, because they're making shit nowadays.
I
feel like they're making
It was
movies
better. It was a better class of shit. I think if you were going to watch a shitty 2017 horror movie, this should be the one, I guess, that you watch. They should put that on the box. That should be on the Blu-ray. Sam and Becca for BNS About Movies say, if you're going to watch a movie from 2007, horror movie from 2017, and that's shitty, this probably should be the shitty horror movie that you watch.
I don't even think it's worth the time.
You don't?
No, I wasn't happy with it.
What would you give it? A D. I would give it a C minus, a C, because there was some interesting stuff in it. I like the theory stuff. I like the, but you know what? Here's the problem I have with it. I know it's a horror movie. Smart people being stupid. If you know that this guy's a danger, right? Why would she just go into his place without any backup, without the police, without contacting the police? You would imagine if the whole thing that they've been worried for years that the guy had to keep getting checked up on that they could put him into a home at any moment, and he's getting checked up on other people besides this doctor. And she knows that, and she knows that he's potentially dangerous, and has gotten hundreds of emails from him in the last couple, like 50 emails.
It's her fault.
It's her fault. She's stupid. She got hugged.
She got what?
Hugged to death. And, like, she was great in the movie, but she was stupid. I wanted more out of it.
Yeah.
It's not the best movie about a psychologist. It's no Dress to Kill.
No. See that? Because that's a split personality one there.
Yes, exactly.
That is a prime example of a good beginning, good middle, and good ending to it.
Here's the thing, and I know we harp on this a lot, but we got those 2 Drive-In Delirium sets from Australia. I'm going to throw a plug, even though we're not going to get paid for it. But Drive-In Delirium it's from Umbrella Releasing. They're both like 4 hours of trailers. The 80s trailer set that's on there is like, there's so many movies that I want to see more than anything that's going to come out this year.
Well, yeah.
They're just so good.
It always happens, though.
I know, but it's like, isn't that, like, is there a movie that you've seen a trailer for this year that you're excited about? Other than Annabelle. But are you going to be disappointed by it?
Most likely.
You liked the last Annabelle.
Yes,
Way more than you thought you were going to.
Yeah.
I will say 2 things.
Yeah.
That movie and this movie are some of the few times you've grabbed me and hid behind me during a movie. There was one part of this movie where you were into it enough in the beginning that you were scared. My favorite story about my wife is when we went to the drive-in the first time. And they had a Michael Myers, life-size Michael Myers at the snack bar. And I said, you should get a picture with it. And you said,
No.
I'm not going near him because that's the kind of thing he would do, is stand here all night
Exactly.
just to kill people. And that's when I knew that my wife was very beautiful and special. That I should probably marry her. I probably was already married to you at this point.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, yeah. So, I don't know. Do I want too much out of movies?
Yeah.
But isn't that, if you're going to spend, here's the way I look at it. It's not even money. It's like, there's, to me, the value of life is how much time you have. And I feel like 2 hours of my time is incredibly valuable to waste on a movie when I ultimately know the ending's going to fall apart. Like, every modern horror movie, the ending falls apart every single time. The only ones I could say that haven't is probably The Conjuring, Insidious, and The Witch.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, and The Boy, actually, too. But The Witch should fall apart because both in The Boy and in The Witch, the endings are so ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could see that there are some
that fell apart.
What?
I don't think everybody liked it as much as we did.
No, but that's what I mean. I think there are some people that could watch the end of The Witch and say, that's fucking ridiculous. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. To me, it's the most awesome thing that's ever happened in a movie. When Black Phillip finally reveals himself. Like, it's super awesome.
Yeah.
And in the same way, the end of The Boy, I think, is really good, too. Because I totally expected that movie to get shitty about an hour and 15 minutes in. And it didn't.
It had a few low parts.
And a few low parts, but the thing is, it's one of those things that once you believe in the actual concept of it, you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way that I saw that. I did never feel that in this. Like, it felt like it was more just like, oh, like, it's an acting tour de force versus I was paying attention to the mechanics of his acting versus getting into the story.
Yeah.
So, alright, so not a success.
No.
It was better than It Follows.
You think it was better than that?
It was better than Goodnight Mommy.
You didn't even stay awake to suffer through that with me.
I made it a little bit. I think it's better than The Gallows.
That movie doesn't count.
What's that other movie that you fell asleep at the drive-in with the Indian? It was just
Black.
The black.
Kevin Bacon movie.
I was watching it and I'm like, this movie is Poltergeist. is better than the Poltergeist remake. We've suffered through some really shitty.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if we could just get our money back. We could probably go on vacation.
We could probably make a horror movie.
I know.
Like, I don't know. It makes me sad because, like, the other thing about watching these old trailers and especially reading Bill Zane, Driving Delirium, if you haven't seen it, or Groovy Doom, website, and you realize how many horror movies came out in the same weekend all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, how amazing is that? Like that, like there was, like at one point, like you would get like 4 or 5 horror movies all in the same weekend.
No, not anymore. We wait a year, and then we get disappointed.
I don't even know what the next horror movie.
We should buy insurance.
I'm gonna look at before we're done. 2017 horror movies. What's coming? And we'll see if any of these are exciting. Okay? This will be the last thing we do in this episode. So the nice people can go to sleep.
Including me.
Do you think people go to sleep during the podcast?
Yeah, I'd hope not, but
You know.
I go to sleep during anything, so I can't be judgy.
I don't think it's a judgy thing. I think my wife loves to fall asleep to Halloween too. Which is disconcerting when you're staying over a girl's house and you wake up to the Halloween music and she's snoring through it.
See, that's how comfortable I am with it.
Okay, so here's
But that's because when you said I was scared of the statue, that's because I was in a safe place such as my house.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to be concerned about whether or not Michael Myers is going to come after me.
Yeah. It, September 7th.
We'll be disappointed, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it's going to be 6 hours long like the original.
World
At
War
a theater.
World War Z 2.
No. I won't even give that the time of day.
Annabelle Creation.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
Amityville: The Awakening.
I'll watch it, but we're going to be disappointed.
Insidious Chapter 4.
Yes, I'll watch that.
Saw Legacy.
Nope.
Flatliners.
A remake.
Yes. The Dark Tower. Jeepers Creepers 3. Cathedral.
Just for my dad. We'll have to go.
Leatherface. The Mummy. Suspiria remake. Do you know it's not going to be bright? It's going to be all dark colors.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I really think it's really smart to remake. There's so much. Make your own movie. Do you want to know
There's no creativity left.
Look, why would you need to shit all over a movie that I love? Like, yeah, you know what? It's like I know you like the Gus Van Sant remake of Psycho.
Yeah.
It's the same movie.
Yeah. It's almost word for word the same movie. I think the only reason I like that movie is because I like the clothes.
Because you wanted to see Anna Heche die?
That too. But I like the clothes in that movie.
Yeah.
And I like that's one I do like the director and whatnot. How he did it.
Gus Van Sant.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's too many sequels get made to movies? Do you think that ruins them?
No, because if it's really bad, I don't even compare the two.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't put it in the same
No.
world. Welcome to the end of another podcast. We watched Split. It wasn't good. Short story long. An hour later, we discovered we didn't like it. No, sir. I didn't like it. My wife got a puzzle almost done.
The whole time.
I picked at the scabs on my legs.
My baby.
I talked about movies. I looked at James McElroy's face. Or McAvoy, however you want to say it. Anything you'd like to throw in? How do people reach us? They email us at bnsaboutmovies@gmail.com.
You can call my husband on his phone. His phone number is...
You can... I should put on the... what do you call it? We should do a special one like, hey, at 5 o'clock on this date, call my conference line.
Yeah.
We'll be on do a live conference. Oh wait, so the contest is still up right now.
Oh yeah.
If you'd like to do it,
Did anyone respond to that? No.
well, it hasn't aired yet.
Oh.
So
right.
I'm gonna say now, just knowing no one's gonna respond to it.
What if
So-
I respond?
Well, you'll be on with us, and it'll be weird. It'll be like a David Lynch movie. I'm like Becca and Beck are on, and it's really two different people, and it creeps me out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that might be weird.
Becca 1, Becca 2.
Yeah. Well, there is a Becca too. There is a twin Becca that lives in California that posts almost identical things on Instagram.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Maybe that's my long lost twin.
Maybe that's Becca too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would like to be on the show, do they get to pick the movie or do we pick the movie? They get to pick the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonus points. I'll pick you for this.
Mm-hmm.
Movies that you should want to watch. The Car, Strange Brew, Kentucky Fried Movie.
Movies
Dread.
you should pick if you want to do the podcast, but just say them.
Yeah,
I won't be in the
but
room.
if you'd like to watch Coyote Ugly with Becca again, the uncensored one, of course,
With boobs everywhere.
with boobs everywhere. If you want to watch the entire run of Saved by the Bell, Becca has that. You could watch The House Bunny with her. You could watch Hideaway.
Too cool for anyone.
You could watch Hook with her. There's a lot of Robin Williams movies that I refuse to allow. Did he ever make a movie with Jim Carrey? Because that would feel like my epicenter of just deep hurting.
Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey and Robin Williams in the same movie. If you'd like to read some of the stuff that I write about movies, you can go to that'snotcurrent.com. I'm sure there'll be other sites sooner or later, but that's a good place to go.
Yeah.
And that's where if you want to read about movies that Becca didn't want to watch with me, like The Car or Your Hunter from the Future.
I got to hear all about it, and I don't need to watch it.
I think you
now.
should watch Your Hunter from the Future. I think it's maybe one of the best movies ever. It's way better than this. Faint praise. And then you can leave a comment right here on Podomatic. If you're listening to us through iTunes, it's always weird that people are like, oh, I listen to your podcast, and they tell me after. And like, I really like it. I'm like, don't tell me in person.
Yeah.
Like, in person, it doesn't do anything. It's nice. It's like kissing your sister.
What?
That's that old wrestling phrase. They always say, a draw is like kissing your sister. I'm like, Southern wrestling's weird. But actually, it was Minnesota wrestling. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
And as Becca always says,
We'll see you at the movie.